Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in today. It's a chilly one out there. And those of you who know that I'm actually flying to Aruba. Well, I'm flying to Toronto tonight and then on to Aruba tomorrow. Can't do a direct nonstop flight from Vancouver all the way down to Aruba. Just not enough of us traveling, I suppose. But looking forward to it. Not so much looking forward to the temperature. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, more on that later. We've got lots of fun topics today. There we go. Okay, so here's our list of topics for the day. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in. I know as you join in, sometimes there's an ad that will play, and if you do let it play, thank you very much, because watching the ads or clicking on the ads is actually how I get paid. So thank you for indulging in that. Good morning, Angelo. How are you? Just a few more weeks, I think it is, until you hit Las Vegas, sunny Las Vegas. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to hearing your updates from there. I have not been in since 2014, I think. Man, that was ages ago. Yeah, long time ago. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what your updates on that. So looking forward to that. So let's go ahead. End of the month. Okay. Yeah, cool. And then Angelo, just for you, those of you who don't know, Angelo has agreed to, he's going to capture some footage and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all the updates and changes in Las Vegas. A lot of you have said, as much as we mostly talk about beach travel and stuff like that, but sometimes it's nice to also hear about other destinations. Areta is at Hyatt Vivid. How are you? More importantly, how are you enjoying the resort? I hope you're loving it as much as I did and as much as Angelo did. But let us know. And everybody's got different tastes and opinions and stuff like that. So I am curious to hear what you think of the resort, and if it's meeting your expectations. I know you watched a lot of my videos. So yeah, is it meeting your expectations or not? Curious. We are going to jump in right away into talking about the Riu Palace Bavaro Beach. This is a beautiful property. It is located in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic on the Uvero Alto Beach, which is beautiful. It's a wide stretch of beach, and it is unfortunately, you can get some riptides and some strong waves in this area, but the beach is absolutely stunning, and you can walk for miles. I walked past all the Rius, and there's 5 of them, I believe, with a total of, did I close that tab? I did. I think it's 4,500 rooms in total between all of their properties now. But with the Riu Palace Bavaro, what they did is they actually closed for quite some time, and they did extensive upgrades and renovations. They tore down the old Riu Naiboa, and then they expanded the Riu Palace Bavaro to actually cover those grounds, and added a whole bunch more facilities and stuff like that. They added the Elite Club. So again, this is one where if you were staying at one of the other palaces in the area, you used to be able to go to the Riu Palace Bavaro. Now you will not be able to. But if you are staying at Riu Palace Bavaro, because it is an Elite Club resort, you can, even if you're not staying in Elite Club, but as long as you're staying at the property, you have full exchange privileges with all of the other properties. Now, in Cabo, that means you can have buffet breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the other properties. I'm not sure how that is playing out in the other destinations, so just kind of playing the wait and see game on that to find out exactly what you can and cannot do. The other thing that they added is a really cool new food court concept. They've got, so it's just like going to the mall and having a food court where you've got just a ton of different choices available to you. The difference here is it's all free. So they've got a pizza place, a wok/poke place, which I would be at every day. They've got a fried chicken station, a taqueria, Pepe's. Pepe's food is a very common one with the tacos, the burgers, hot dogs, nacho station, that kind of thing. They have an ice cream bar. They have a place that does fresh crepes, waffles, and donuts, as well as a bar. So you can wash it all down with a adult beverage of your choice, provided that you're 18 years of age or older. And also they've added in a family area. And this is kind of neat. It's 255 rooms that they've added in, and these have 3 beds in the room, so they can accommodate larger groups and families, that kind of thing. In that area, they have also added a kids splash park, a pirate ship, a games park, a cinema, a pastry cafe, and another taqueria. So everything's really close to there. Of course, this property also has the water slides. I think there's 9 water slides. There's 9 swimming pools at this property on its own. So whilst, it's quite large, but anytime I've been to a resort where they've had 3 or more decent sized pools, I find that it's usually not a problem to find a lounger for the day and find an area where you can kind of camp out for the day, get a bit of shade, that kind of thing. But it's, as opposed to where it's one pool for the entire complex, that's where you really start seeing the chair saving game at the crack of dawn or before dawn. And it just becomes a lot more competitive for space. So I think this is going to be a really interesting one to see. They have also added a bunch of dining options, and the Rius are great. Their buffets are amazing. But they've also got, the Asian fusion, Italian steakhouse, all of that kind of stuff. They've added a brand new concept. It's an American country diner. And actually, if you have the Riu app, you can pull up the property, you can see the different restaurants, and you can see the menus. Now, just occurred to me just as I'm saying this, so I haven't looked at it, but I'll tell you what, after we're done talking today, I am going to go and look that up because I'm curious to see what's on the menu. So with that brings up the total dining options at this property to 32. I mean, you really can't complain about having 32 different food options. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and makes it a pretty compelling argument to stay at that particular property, doesn't it? So yeah, that's the update on the Riu Palace Bavaro. Okay, next topic, we are talking about the weather forecast versus real feel. Now the Weather Network does this. I don't know if all of the weather apps do, but it seems like most of them do. I only have 2 on my phone. I have the Weather Network and Windy. I will say that Windy is a lot more accurate, but the Weather Network is it's kind of easier to see, easier to look at. So looking at that, for example, when you're planning a trip to Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, of course you look at the forecast, and you don't necessarily, when you've traveled to these places as many times as I have, you don't necessarily look at the forecast because I just know seasonally it's going to be super hot and humid in August, September, probably a little bit of rain in October, November. December will be quite pleasant. January is going to be colder. And then February, you're into, beautiful, nice, warm, hot weather. But if I was going to somewhere new, for example, I've never been to Costa Rica. So I'd want to be looking at the weather a little bit closer for that. But of course, as you draw closer to your vacation, you start to, question some of your packing choices and whether or not you need to pack some warmer stuff or some cooler stuff. Learned that the hard way last last year going to Mazatlan, where we thought it would be quite warm, and it was actually freezing. I took this sweater and I wore it literally every single day, as well as I had a summer top and a t-shirt over top of that. It was freezing. So yeah, good to look at the forecast. So for example, this is the weather forecast for Cancun for today. So currently says it's 32 degrees, but real feel being 39, a little bit on the humid side. And we all know that, you get off the plane and instantly your skin is slick because of the moisture in the air. Same thing, Puerto Vallarta, currently 30 degrees, real feel 36. Well, this is all fine and good, but actually, as you know, flying to Aruba technically tomorrow. So looking at the forecast, this is what I saw. So highs of 30, 33, this is a Celsius, or 91 in Fahrenheit. But this is what I want to close up on. So 33 Celsius is the forecast. Real feel 51. Real feel 91 degrees Fahrenheit, or 124. Like, I feel like I should go to the grocery store and buy an egg and borrow, rent a car and put the egg on it and see if I could cook the egg. That is utterly insane. And it has me a little more than a little bit concerned, if I'm honest. I don't do terribly well in super hot weather. I don't know about you guys, but after we had those heat domes a few years ago, and I've heard a lot of people say this, is that they just can't tolerate the heat anymore. So I don't know if you feel that way as well, but yikes. This is not going to be a good thing, in my opinion. But we'll see. I'm going to go live from Aruba, from the Riu Palace Bavaro, and maybe a couple of more times as well. But I'm going to do that while I'm there, and I'll let you know. And of course, I'll be updating the community posts every day. I try to post something new every day. So I'll let you know how I'm coping, and if this real feel business is to be believed or not. I will say that I've been to Aruba. I think this will be my 4th time, and it's always very, very windy. And the critical piece there is when it's not windy, it is stupidly hot. Like, you literally, I mean, there's jewelry stores on every street, and invariably they have the best air conditioning, and they'll usually give you a free beer if you want to just go in and have a look around, which is kind of cool, because anytime somebody's giving you something for free is always nice. But yeah, you literally have to be somewhat strategic when you're walking around about where you're going. I don't know, is this going to turn into a vacation where it's just sitting inside in the AC and hiding from the heat, reading books, maybe watching TV, like just relaxing? Or is this going to be kind of a waste of money? I don't know. We will find out very quickly. Oh yeah, yeah. So Christine's saying the same thing. Yeah, because so I was staying across the street at the Hyatt Vivid, and she was staying across the street from me at the what was it? Oh, the Iberostar. And yeah, saying very, very, very hot. So I'm watching a truck try to reverse up our driveway and not doing it very successfully. So it's kind of funny. Always fun to watch these sort of things. Anyways, yeah, it really does impact your ability to enjoy these things when you can't just walk around, meander. I like to explore, go and see the different shops, see what little restaurant cubby holes are around the corner. But when it's too hot, and we might have find that we're rejigging our schedule for the day, where maybe in the morning that's the outdoor time, morning and late afternoon or evening. And then during the day, that's like, okay, go to the gym, actually. Sit inside at a restaurant and eat in an air-conditioned environment. I don't know. Casinos open at noon. That's a good thing, I figure. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I do as well. I mean, you're there, you're in paradise, so why not fully immerse yourself and enjoy it? But yeah, when it's that hot and humid, and just the intolerable heat, it makes it impossible for sure. And how many days away are you from Hyatt Vivid now? You must be on the countdown, because I know you're heading there this fall. So exciting times. Okay, so okay, next topic. Okay, hurricane outlook. So of course we started off the season and they were predicting, where's my numbers? Here we are. So we had predictions of 20 to 25 named storms, 8 to 12 hurricanes, and 4 to 7 major hurricanes. I think so. We are now on the Atlantic side. We are up to 6 named storms. We're up to Francisco, Francine. Francine is the hurricane's just turned into a level 1 hurricane, probably set to hit Louisiana and maybe Texas sometime today. 92 days. Countdown is on. So that's great. I mean, it's just like really around the corner. And yeah, so I'll be sure to do videos when I'm there. October. I think it's the 9th. That October 9th. I'm there for 2 nights. So yeah, I'll give you an update on what's available, what's happening, that kind of thing. And also, for those of you who don't know, Hyatt, also Hyatt Inclusive Collection by Hyatt. So this is the Hyatt Vivid, Hyatt Ziva Riviera Cancun, Hyatt's La Riviera Maya, Dreams Resorts, Secrets Resorts, Breathless Resorts, Sunscape. If you go on to their Inclusive Collection by Hyatt app, you can look at the individual hotels. You can see the activities that they have going on. You can see the restaurants that each property has. You can look at the menus. It's really cool if you want to, especially if that's important to you. Hello, Frenchie. Watching another truck go up the hill here. Good morning or good afternoon. I think you're back east. So good afternoon. I love that. They always say that in the Bahamas. They do a sneaky good afternoon or good day. As you're walking on the sidewalk and if somebody approaching you, and I do it it would be this way because they drive on the opposite side of the road. So as you're walking along on the sidewalk, somebody's walking towards you and you sort of, nod or whatever. And then just as they get like just there, and you hear this good afternoon, and it's like, go. And then you're like, hi, so you gotta just sneak that in there. It's kind of funny. Different places, different customs. So back to the hurricane outlook. They are predicting pretty big activity over the next few months. But again, it's a forecast. Haven't been too accurate with it so far. But what they're saying is the Sahara Desert, the sand blows from the Sahara Desert, blows towards the east coast of North America, Mexico, that kind of thing, and into the Caribbean. And as the sand from the Sahara Desert goes into the air, it causes the air to be drier. And with the sand particles in it, it's too heavy to form into hurricanes. And so what they are saying is that this activity has lasted longer than normal. Is this all because of the transition from El Nino to La Nina? I don't know. But there's, it's difficult to say what's going on. But suffice it has caused this lull in hurricane activity such that they haven't seen anything like this since, I think, the 1960s. So then what they're predicting is that this is all going to, the sandstorms, blah, 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 is all going to quieten down. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be sort of it's not pent-up energy, it's a storm. It's not pent-up energy, but what they're anticipating is that it's going to create the correct conditions for hurricanes to start building. So I love that, Bojangles. Hey, hello, by the way. We like to call it the weather guess. I love that. That is absolutely fabulous. Yeah, because, and I mean, no disrespect to the meteorologists, the people who are predicting this stuff and doing these forecasting. They're intelligent people. They've got brilliant educations, but yeah, you get it wrong 9 times out of 10, yeah, it's a weather guess, right? So yeah. So anyways, if you are going to be traveling to anywhere on the Atlantic side, whether it's the Caribbean, Mexico, Dominican, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, just bear in mind that they are predicting that there will be a lot more storm activity coming up. So might it impact your travel? Hard to say. Okay. So moving on, next topic. Okay, so this is something that may or may not impact you guys who are watching from the US, but it might, because here's the thing. So Air Canada and Marriott Bonvoy, their loyalty program, they have now agreed to do a two-way points conversion. So while you might think, well, why would I ever fly Air Canada? Well, if you're flying to Hawaii, that's a perfectly good option. If you're flying to Asia, you're going to have to connect somewhere. So why not fly from Vancouver instead? Just something to consider. Yeah, or even if you're flying up over to Europe, flying via Canada might be an option. So therefore, you could fly Air Canada. So the points conversion historically has been with Marriott converting Bonvoy points to Air Canada. Has been a 3-to-1 conversion. So, and I think you get like a 5,000 point bonus for every conversion. Angelo probably knows this stuff inside out. And then what they're doing now is they're allowing you to convert from Air Canada to Marriott, but it's a 1-to-1 conversion. So if you've got buckets of Aeroplan points, Aeroplan being the Air Canada loyalty program, if you got buckets of Aeroplan points, then that could earn you some seriously great free stays at Marriott. And yeah, maybe. Yeah. So if I'm getting this wrong, please correct me. But what's interesting is Marriott just opened up their first all-inclusive resort in Cancun. That opened up, I want to say it was April of this year. So they are diving into the all-inclusive market. So there's some options for you there. And of course, they have some really great properties, especially some of their airport hotels. They're beautiful and they're well maintained and very convenient for sure. You're not staying at some dumpy kind of roadside inn kind of thing. Yeah, so kind of interesting news on that one. And I'm actually really starting to question whether or not I want to do something different in terms of my travel points and stuff like that. With yeah. With I've historically gone the route of having an airline credit card so that I can get points with WestJet and I can get free. I don't want to get free flights, but I can get free dollars to use towards flights. But wondering if I should go the other way and go with more of a loyalty program points to collect points where I can use it for hotels and stuff like that. Because it's, I love staying at the Hyatts, the Hyatt Vivid, Hyatt Ziva, Zalaras, but they're expensive. I mean, there's no two ways about it. So are the Rius. Um, it's difficult to maintain a lot of this travel when you're paying like proper rates for it. So yeah, it's kind of challenging. Anyways, moving on. So some random other stuff. Oh, actually, I think I only have one other item. That's Secrets Saint Martin. So it's currently closed. Secrets in Saint Martin. It was formerly a Riu. Actually, stayed there when it was a Riu. Not my favorite property. It is sort of like like a manor house kind of style, where it's got like the main building and then a long sort of grassy area. Very, would that be colonial style? I don't know. It's a very pretty resort. But then, anyways, they closed it when it was a Riu, and it reopened as adults only secrets property. Some of the design was very clunky, in my opinion, with like metal gates and stuff like that around the swim up pools. It's kind of weird. Aesthetically, I don't think they quite hit the mark as well as they could have. That said, they are, again, closed. It didn't get great reviews when it opened. In fact, it got quite scathing reviews. Not all of it was completed, that kind of thing. And they always, I mean, look at Hyatt Vivid. They got thrashed when they first opened because they didn't have everything happening. And I mean, still, it was a great time, great resort. But I didn't stay at Secret Saint Martin while it was open, but it wasn't open for very long and now it's been closed again. I think it closed as of April. It says it's closed until December, undergoing extensive refurbishment and changes. So I don't know what they're doing. And I guess the question is, are they upgrading the resort? Are they going to just refinish it so that it's more aesthetically pleasing? Or are they going to do a little brand switcheroo? Are they going to change it to like an Impressions, make it more boutique-y, make it more higher end? Are they going to make it a Zoetry? Are they going to change it to a Hyatt Ziva or Zalara? Is it even going to stay within their portfolio? Who knows? So this is interesting stuff. They say it's supposed to be reopening in 2025. And ideally, resorts, they want to be closed down for the slow season, the fall time. Yeah, 100%. They really have gotten more expensive. And so if they have done all these improvements, then they can open up in the spring when it's high season and ideally recoup a lot of those revenues that they kind of lost out on while they were closed. So it's interesting to see what'll happen. Who knows? Time will tell, right? And so then again, I turn to Angelo because you've probably got the inside scoop on this stuff. Again, I learned from Angelo that the people who sell the timeshare stuff, the UVC, Unlimited Vacation Club timeshare, if there are rules about what they are supposed to and not supposed to share, they go out the door when you're talking to these timeshare salespeople. So they are a great resource if you want to know what's happening. What are some of the new properties that are opening up? I will say that it's 50-50 as to whether or not they're accurate, but yeah, it's oh yeah. And they will spill the beans. Yeah, they certainly do. Yeah, so I'm curious. I mean, I'll see the new Secrets Baby Beach when I'm in Aruba within the next 2 weeks. I'm going to drive down to Baby Beach, rented a car. I'm going to go and check that out. So that'll be interesting to see because it's just on a beautiful beach. It's perfect for, it's a very big dive area, but also great for snorkeling, and water's very calm, that kind of thing. It's a beautiful area, kind of remote, but it'll be interesting to see. But of course, they're not going to be open or anything like that. But I'll just be able to get a sense of where they're at in terms of construction. I'm sure they're going to have big fences around it, so I won't be able to see too much, but we'll see. You know, I like to be kind of think outside of the box and try to see where I might be able to get some photos and get a little bit of more update on what's happening. But also about a week after I get back from Aruba, I'm heading to Cancun, and I'm going to be staying at the Inclusive Collection by Hyatt's properties. So hopefully I can find out a little bit more about what's going on there. And also I want to find out, like, where are they going to in 2025? Because it's always exciting to hear about new resorts and where they might be opening up. So yeah, good times. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for you today. Not a whole lot going on, but thanks for tuning in nonetheless. Looking forward to heading to Aruba tomorrow and seeing if that temperature is killer or not. We'll see. But before you go, be sure to, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Hit the bell, then you'll get notified whenever there are any new videos that are coming out. Like I said, I'm going to try to go live as much as I can. Thank you. Thank you, Bojangles. Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, look, if nothing else, I'm going to be enjoying some pastiche, which is like every country's got like empanada, samosa, any of these, everybody's got their own version of a little pastry wrapped meat thing, cottage pie in England. So pastiche is one thing I definitely looking forward to having. All kinds of cheese. I mean, it's a Dutch country, so the cheese is just going to be insanely good. Bitterballen, that's like the little meatballs. If you've ever had meatballs from IKEA, these are like that, but better. If I am correct, they even have like a cheesy mushroom kind of gravy inside of them. I can't remember exactly, so you'll have to check that out. Yes, definitely be having some Balashi beers with the cheese. Yeah, looking forward to that. And also just checking out the area. Oh, sausage is another thing that they have. I don't know if that's Dutch or not, but I know there's some great places for that. And of course, that fabulous cheese place I told you guys about, where they hollow out the cheese, the Parmesan wheel, and they mix the pasta in that, cover every strand. Oh, mouth is watering already. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's always fun to experience different culture, different foods, different drinks, seeing the beaches. I've looked at a lot of videos just to get updated on what's happening in Aruba. And one of the things that nobody seems to be talking about is the amazing boardwalk that they have along the beach. Kind of similar. It's not like the Malecon in Puerto Vallarta or the Malecon in Mazatlan, which is extremely long and right along the side of the beach. This in Aruba, the boardwalk, we'll call it, is between the hotels and the beach. And so it's sort of, there's palm trees and the beach and sand, and then there's the ocean. And it's sort of set back from that along the hotels. There's some restaurants and bars along the way. Goes from as far up as the DVD Little Phoenix, I believe is the name of the resort. Then there's the Rius. Then it's the Hyatt, I believe, the Barcelo, which used to be the Occidental, moving on to, and then there's a few others. There's the Holiday Inn, and then there's the Marriott. I think it's the Marriott down at the end. So it's quite long. It's maybe like a mile or two long, which might be too hot in this weather. I don't know. We'll see. But there's also about 2 or 3 piers that extend out onto the ocean. And these are fantastic places to go and have a drink. You're sort of sitting like right on the pier on dock on the water. So it's absolutely spectacular view. The water is crystal clear. I mean, there's a lot of wrecks in the area, and you can see them from where you're sitting on the pier. It's insane. And these are also really great places to go for happy hour / sunset. So looking forward to sharing all of that with you and showing you all the things that I love about this place. It's honestly one of the few countries that I would consider relocating to if I was to move. Very safe, very comfortable. Really hot though, so yeah, it's a bit of a deterrent, but anyways. So stay tuned. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of videos coming up about the Riu and all the different aspects of it. The 2 Rius, do those separately to keep them separated, but also lots of videos about Aruba, including, of course, the food, because we always have to talk about the food, and of course, all the stuff to see and do while we're there. So thanks for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a great week and a great weekend. And well, at the very least, I'll be live next Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure on the time, so watch for that. I will try to post the notice. I'll book the live thing a little bit ahead, like at least a couple of days ahead, so that you will know what time to tune in. But yeah, definitely going to be going live every Wednesday. And then possibly also some extra days in there just to share what's going on. So thanks for tuning in today. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.